Hello and welcome in, everyone. I cannot wait for this conversation. And if you see me looking down, y'all don't mind me. I decided to do my notes in pencil and I can't see. So this is going to be interesting. Hello, and welcome in. Looking forward to our conversation. This should be really good. It's one of my good friends. And I'm just going to ping him in here. How are you all doing today? It is a marvelous day today. I went to the mall and I seen that there's all these new like black businesses in there and they're doing like really creative things. And it just got me so inspired because that's what I want to do. That's really what I want to do as well. I don't see him. I just got off the phone with him. So he should be coming any minute. I'm just going to be sending this out. I hope you all are doing well. I didn't see your responses, but I hope y'all doing well. Yeah, I went to a pop-up yesterday or a few days ago too. And this one woman, she was like complaining about her black hair really bad, right? Oh, I'm good, thank you. And I was like, oh girl, like help is on the way. Like, why you didn't even say that? I got a whole booth right here, right? And I was able to help her like in the moment with, her pain. And that's like, it's so amazing to me because I think I felt like for a while I was like shying away from being a healer because did not, well, my old version of who I was like had a little trauma about that. But now I'm here and I'm helping. Hi.
Okay, you can hear me? Everything good?
Yes, I
Everything
can
sweet?
hear you now.
Hey, hey, hey.
How are
Uh,
you?
I'm doing good. How about yourself, Fresh?
Good. It's been forever, ever.
Man, it's been a minute. We go back like 4 flats, so it's
Like
definitely been a minute.
4 flats. People don't
Man,
know.
back to ninth grade. We ain't even get all that. Good times. Good times, bro. Good memories.
Right. I know. And like I said earlier, bear with me. I don't know why I put my notes in pencil, knowing I can't see, but
Oh, so you
we
already,
gonna
you already squinting already.
we gonna get this thing rolling. So, how are you? Tell the people who you are, what you do, all that good stuff.
Hey, everybody. I'm Jay. All right, so I'm a fashion designer, as everybody can see. My clothing line is called Limits to Millions. When life throw you limits, you got to make millions. Right now, I'm rocking one of my brands. One of the things called Boss Blooded. When it got to be in you, not on you. I've made this back in 2020 in the top of right in the beginning of COVID. Everybody started to make their own little businesses and everything like that. So like, why can't I got some ideas I can touch on and everything of that sort and starting to pick up. I take a little leeway. I did a little traveling and everything like that, learning from different businesses and shaking hands, meeting new people and everything like that. And I got some new stuff about to drop. So yeah, that's really it. And then besides
Yeah,
that,
I won't
go ahead.
mind.
I'm sorry, you said
I
what?
won't mind.
I got you. I got you. Yours is in the mail.
Yeah,
It's,
right,
I'm gonna send you the tracking information after this.
right.
Yeah,
I still
yeah,
won't mind.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah. So you from San Francisco? Okay,
Born,
let's
born and
talk
raised.
about it.
Hey,
Let's
look, man.
talk about it. Because I feel like in the outside world, right,
Mhm.
San Francisco is a beautiful place. It's still a beautiful place. But
Oh
the
yeah.
people don't know San Francisco is a dog eat dog world,
Come on, man. This is
right?
Bib. This is Bib City. They don't know. They'll come and
That
find
was
out
the
about it.
city. Right, but I mean, either you gonna make it or you ain't,
Definitely,
right? And so talk a little bit about, like growing up in San Francisco, what did that look like for you?
for sure. Yeah. So I was born and raised in San Francisco. I grew up in Fillmore. Um, if you're not from the city and everything like that, outside people think that that's like the Harlem, I guess, of San Francisco and everything like that. It's great culture and everything of that sort. I will say the city is a beautiful place. Especially if you're traveling, even if you're from here, it's beautiful. I'm like I said, I'm born and raised here, and I'm learning new places. Like I just found out what Dog Patch is, so I feel like, wow, okay, this is kind of cool over here. But it's
Right.
definitely struggles and everything like that. So like, take a nice little long walk through the TLs, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If but everybody has their own struggles and everything like that. But at least with me and everything, I grew up in a time where, especially in the era where like you had to get it on your own or you have to find a way to get it. School at that time, a lot of people right now it's good to go to school. Everybody's promoting it. Back in my time, I feel like when I was growing up, it wasn't popular to go to school. You was like a nerd to be popular. I mean, a nerd to to be smart and everything like that. Back then, you had to really get your money and everything like that. So I did the dad than that, but I definitely knew my home bringing. So I was like, okay, I have to stay. Definitely have to. It's hard kind of be back and forth between the two. Want to be the friends and everything like that, but but still knowing yourself, if that makes sense and everything. So it was hard, but it's you make it through. You definitely make it through, and I'm glad I'm making it through. Taking it day by day right now.
Man, I'm glad you are too. And
Yeah.
speaking of which, so like, you know, there comes a point in a time where like you have the opportunity to go either way.
Yep.
So what made you choose your path?
So really, with me, I've had the joys of seeing people that have done both paths. Before me, I've had siblings that it's in my ear telling me which way to really go. But at the end of the day, you have to choose your own path. So I dipped and dabbed and went down the little wrong path a little bit. Seeing it, I was like, oh, all right, let's try to go back another path. So definitely seeing how both sides can see from outside, and then also seeing the experiences for myself definitely made the final decision. Yeah, really. Made it for real. It's like, no, really. It's a
Right,
blessing to really be here, especially being, a black man. It's a blessing to be here.
right.
So,
We're gonna get to that too.
oh, for
Um,
sure.
so who are some people that you looked up to?
Um, Without, for sure, my father. I grew up with a single father. Some people don't know that. And so he definitely showed me the ropes and everything like that. So that's what it's showing me to be a father right now. So definitely have two youngins at the house and everything. So I have a son and a youngin, and I just had a daughter. So yeah, so definitely my father without that. Besides that, my grandmother. She's like the head of my household, my family, and my household and my family, I feel like. So without her, she showed me how I'm supposed to treat a woman. She told me everything I really need to know about the game, really, honestly. And yeah, she really showed me like the backbone, or like really put like in the backbone, put the belt behind my butt if I had to. She was like my mom figure. I didn't really grow up with my mom like that, so her, and then also my stepmom. She was like another mom. So I definitely, like I said, I didn't have a mom, so I definitely needed a woman's figure in my life. So she
Mhm.
was definitely there. So my father, my grandmother, and my stepmom.
That's cool. I was still thinking about that story you told
Mhm.
me with pennies, which
Oh man, I'll never, man.
I never
Y'all
forget
don't
that.
know. I'll never forget that. So I think my grandmother took me to get some pie. I'll never forget that. And she's like, Jay Bird, that's her nickname for me. She was like, yeah, come on. I'll take you out to eat. All right, cool, Granny, let's go out to eat. Whatever was good. She pulled out heck of pennies. It was like a whole. She didn't even have them in the thing, like the little rolling thing. She had a whole. I felt so embarrassed. She over there counting it up, like, oh, you want a tip too? Okay, hold on. Let me add this over to. It was embarrassing, but it was a blessing and everything. Oh, I forgot one more person. I forgot. I look up to. I look up to my fiance. Like she
Yeah,
showed me a lot, and she showed me a lot. She motivated me to do a lot too. So there's definitely somebody else. Yeah.
yeah, she's amazing. Um,
Yeah.
so what are some environmental, societal, and familial obstacles that you have to face, and how did you overcome them? So, like family wise, some obstacles in
Yep.
society, some obstacles, and environmental, just where you grew up around that.
No, definitely, definitely. So, as far as with the family and everything like that, so being raised by an only father, it kind of showed me only one side. Like I said, I grew up needing another woman kind of side, or thinking that, I always wanted a mom and everything like that. So, not having a mom really growing up, sorry, not really having a mom growing up to show me a lot of things I feel like hindered me in this. I'm kind of dealing with that now as an adult, like a lot of things like that. Not having a woman, like I said, not having a woman, I wouldn't. especially being young, I needed a lot of girlfriends and stuff like that, needing a woman's loving, thinking I needing to get that from them. So that definitely kind of hindered me, and I'm dealing with that. So had to deal with that. So that's definitely with that. My environment is growing up. I ain't gonna lie, growing up in film, it was crazy. Like before cameras was up and everything, it was whoo boy, it was sparky. It was crazy, you know.
Mhm.
So definitely had to this. I remember I couldn't even play in hallways at a point in time. Like it was really broad day. It was crazy. So it's definitely seeing all that and not want to be like that. Not want to just have my kids be like that. It was hard, you know, seeing all that hardship. I'm not having it this way, you know. So that was definitely hard seeing growing up with that, but I definitely made it work. I had to make it work, you know,
Right.
like especially drumming, it's just hard. You have to make it work. So that was definitely like one of the two biggest struggles of my life I had to go through for. Yeah. So I keep looking up because the police over here, I'm in a spot I'm not supposed to be in. They keep looking at me. So my bad. I keep looking up, y'all. Sorry about that.
Lord,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
talked about you being safe, okay?
Yeah, for real. Y'all got it if y'all see anything, but go ahead, though. Yeah, so.
You forgot about environmental. So what about some environmental obstacles?
Um,
Societal,
oh,
sorry.
okay. Um, Give me an example. I'm sorry. Can you give me an example? Give me an
Um,
example.
let's see. An example, societal obstacles. Just like things that you grew up thinking about society or like how society is seeing you or things that you
Oh,
had to school, work, stuff like that.
I'm gonna be real. Growing up early as a black, and it's funny because I'll be having this talk with my coworker because I'm the only black person on my team, African American person on my team, and they really all are just Asians, and so I'm really having to break down some things to them about like growing up being black, and there's certain things that they can do that they can do that I for sure can do. Like I
Right.
think we just went to go get some just get the popcorn, and I was knocking on the door, and the people there were kind of scared to come to me. I'm like, all right, guys, maybe one of y'all need to come first. Like
Right.
they kind of might with y'all, and they was like, "Dang, Jay, that's really how it is." I'm like, only if you knew, like So I'm really
Right.
having to break things down like that. So I'm glad that it's more open now. Like the world's seeing like the struggles that we have to go through and everything like that. As a black man, I'm glad that's open. I'm glad that people are starting to be aware. We're still far away from where we need to go, but
Right.
I'm glad everything's aware now. So that's definitely like the biggest struggle. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And since we're on that topic, I'm just
Oh boy.
like,
So,
so what is it like for you as a black man in society?
all right, one. I'm getting to two things. It's hard growing up. I felt like it was hard being a black man and also being a dark skinned African American. One, a lot of people. I'll start with the dark skinned African American. A lot of growing up, I was the African booty scratcher. I was the you was black as that chair. All that over there. Now it's kind of like, all right, your militant is kind of all right. You feel me? I see you. I see you. But it's just it was hard, especially hearing that from your own kind. I used to always hear you're cute for the dark skin. That's like a backward compliment. Like you just, so are you saying I'm ugly? Like, and I feel like we shouldn't even be like that. Oh shit, they about to come. Please don't come. All right. But yeah, okay, we're good. Sorry about that. That grew up that hurt me a lot. That was hard, man. That was hard being a dark skin, and also just being a black man. This growing up, it's certain things I really cannot do. Like I was just in an elevator the other day, and a lady clutched her purse, and I want to tell a woman like, I don't even want your purse. I don't want nothing. Like it's just
Right.
hard. Like why, like I said, I'm glad that we're more aware of it now, but we're still far away to go. It's hard, and I'm really having to tell my son that now, like. I'll be telling. Maybe I shouldn't be telling him about this now, or maybe I should. But like, he do like hugging his friends. I'm like, or like, you ask them if you can hug them, son. Let
Right.
them know. Let them know because I don't want nothing, no parents to come around. Like, I
Yeah.
don't have no time for that. He doesn't understand that now, but I feel like I have to implant that in his mind already. If that makes sense. So yeah,
Right.
yeah,
We're gonna get deeper into that a
yeah.
little later, but
Okay.
I definitely was thinking about this while I was having a conversation with
Mm.
one of my friends. I was having a conversation with Adonis about like
You're down. What's
how I
happening?
used to feel about dark skinned people, and you
Mm.
definitely came up because I know that was a conversation that you and I used to have a lot.
I
And
don't know if
around
you
that
brung this.
time,
I don't know if you put this to my attention or it was a Wale song called Shades, and I still listen to it. Wale has said, I never fit in with the light skins. I felt the lighter they was, the better that their life is." And
right?
I grew up kind of feeling like that. Hold on, go ahead with your question. I'm sorry, I cut you
No,
off
no,
though.
no. Keep going, and
You
I'll
know,
come back.
for sure, yeah. Like I still listen to that, and I'm like, damn, in a way, I feel like the dark skins is not really appreciated. Like it's starting to be open, but not like, especially with like with women and everything like that. A lot of dudes would be like, "Oh, I want that. I want her. Oh, she too dark. I don't want her." And it's like, damn, bro, like she's still black though. You say you want a black
Right.
woman, but she's not. He's like, we got to work better. We got to do better. I don't like that. I'll be really, I'm pro all my women. I'm really pro my black women. Let's get it like that. Even more of my dark skin women. Let's go like that. Go ahead. I'm
Right.
sorry.
Right. No, but I was definitely thinking about like a lot of conversations that we used to have around that. And I was, I've always been pro black, but I was not interested in dark skinned people.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't realize like
Mm-hmm.
what I was saying and to whom, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that that may have made you feel some type of way because you always used to like why like what are you talking about why like
Yeah.
but I didn't correlate it until later that I had a problem with how my dad treated women,
Mm.
right? So I felt like I love black men, but and I don't like. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't like light skin. I'll be in the middle, but I correlated how my dad treated women with his skin color, right?
Mm.
And I feel like if I dated somebody that color, that they would treat me the same way, right?
Mm.
But I didn't know that. And I didn't know how to articulate that. So it was just like, I don't want somebody dark. It
Nah,
was
yeah.
nothing wrong with a dark skin person. I just don't want to be with somebody dark. And I want to like apologize to you because I know like at times that made you feel some type of way. But neither one of us was like communicating that
Nah,
we feel
yeah.
some type of way. But it's not even like the same type of way, you know?
Nah, for sure. It's all love. It's all love. Like I said, we at that time we were all kids and stuff too, so like we wasn't aware of it, but for sure, like it's good. It's
Right.
good. It was
I
a
mean,
point in
I
time I
know it's
grew and
good,
grew
but
up.
still at the same time, like that is a real thing. Like
Nah,
we
yeah.
don't even understand like our underlying biases and or how even our regular interactions. All right, it's fine. Our regular interactions. I was trying to look like nobody's
Go,
son, but it's fine.
go,
I didn't want
go,
to, destroy
stupid.
me right now in this moment.
Go ahead.
Um, we don't understand how our regular interactions can actually have a bigger effect
Yeah.
on each other or even ourselves. Because,
Yeah.
I'm saying this, but at the same time, like now, later on in my life,
You
I
never
won't be
know.
a dark skinned man. Like,
You
who would
never.
have
You feel
thought?
me?
Like, you know what
You
I'm
know.
saying? Like,
Yep.
it wasn't. And now that I know and I know where it comes from,
Mm.
like, I'm able to be in a different space. But at that time, like, I couldn't articulate that pain. And
Nah, I
I
get it.
couldn't even, like, understand whether or not if that was making you feel some type of way on
Mm.
a different level,
Yeah.
and what you have to go through. It was
Yeah.
just like, this is just how I feel, So
Nah.
I do
Yep.
want to
Yep.
apologize to you for that. But also like just understanding that, because I'm starting to work with more youth and
Yeah.
talking to them about how to express their feelings,
Mm.
how to recognize when you're having feelings, trauma, things
Yeah.
like that is
Yeah.
really important
Yeah.
because we don't understand. And again, our trauma becomes a trigger, and
Mm-hmm.
we don't understand that we're interacting off of a traumatic level, and
Yep.
it's not our friendship that is being hurt, it's my feelings that are
Yep.
being hurt,
Woo-hoo.
reminding me of something that I don't understand or that I don't know that you're reminding me of. So now I'm upset with you because you're the problem when really it's something else.
Yep. I'm
So
glad. As I said, I'm glad. Like right now in this world, like with that mental health and everything is being more. It's open. It's being more brought to attention. Everything like that now. So I'm throwing my shoe at you, Precious. You did that one. You did that. Like I ain't gonna lie, but yeah, like I'm glad that we talk about this. Like it's
you're
definitely. I do remember that we did have a lot of conversations about this in the past. Like just
right.
even just picking each other's brains and everything like that. So
Yeah.
thank you for following on anything like that. Like, we love you. Us dark skinned men love you.
Right.
And
Oh,
everything
I
like
know.
that.
I know. If y'all watching, I know. I love you too. um, but yeah, let's see. I told y'all I can't see.
Looking like this, y'all. She ever trying to zoom in on the paper.
Did you feel any pressure to become somebody, like to become something or somebody, and or live up to an image growing up?
uh, I feel like my parents, I had to live up to like a certain image. I had to make them feel like that. I feel like I did. I had to do like act like a or be a certain image to my friends and then to my family. Because like my family couldn't. Well, now I don't. They know the real me now. But I feel like at the time my family didn't really know the real whole me. If everything of that sort. Like my friends, they knew the real me. Like I can really console with them and everything like that. But as far as the family, I couldn't really tell them that. Like they didn't know like I love music. They didn't know I love fashion. They just knew they did go to school. So I definitely had to be a certain way around them. I had to tell them like I wanted to go to school, but just telling them that I wasn't really thinking about going to school at the time, but just had to tell them that to make them think that I was a certain way. Now my friends, they knew the real me. Like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going, bro. We about to go now. Like, let's go
Right.
grab something to eat real quick, type of thing. So I definitely have to be a certain way for around them. As far as to the outside world, I don't think I needed to be act like I meant to be anything else though. Like, y'all have to really see me. How I felt. But definitely now my family sees me. Yeah,
Yeah.
if y'all looking up, if y'all watching out there on TV land.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
report cards.
Oh, so I used to be sneaking home. I remember I would never forget junior year. I used to sneak home and always to get my report cards. I remember that. I used to actually hit up Cordelia and be like, bro, can you pull the fire alarm real quick so we can sneak out? Good times, good times, good times.
Horrible.
Don't be like me, y'all. Don't be like me, y'all. Don't be like me.
Yeah. But
Do better.
happy Father's Day. Early
Thank
happy.
you. Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
it's so exciting. I'm
Yeah.
excited for you.
Thank you.
Um, I know you just welcomed a beautiful baby girl, and we're gonna
Yes.
talk more about that in a
Oh,
minute.
yes. 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 I definitely did.
Uh, I know that Jelly has a son.
Yes.
Your son. I don't know if you
So yeah, for
your
the TV
son
land
or
out
how you
there, yeah,
address that.
my fiance, I had a son previously before I met her.
Mhm.
I don't say stepdad. I don't like that term. I'm a dad that stepped up. You
Yeah.
see me? So that's my son. I've been in his life since he was 1.5 or 2. So that's my son, and he's 8 now. So that's my youngin. That's my son.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 year
Okay.
old son.
I wanted to know
No, you
because
good?
I don't believe in have siblings have
No,
no
exactly,
family,
exactly. No,
right?
exactly.
So I think that's beautiful. But
Thank you.
also, I want to know with that because I know a lot of men date women
Hmm.
with kids with no
Yep.
intention of being in the kid's life, which is
Yep.
crazy because it also shows that we, as a culture, has have don't date with intention, right? And
Ooh,
there is
that's
no courting anymore because
yeah.
when you are courting, you're actually dating with a purpose.
Yep.
And dating someone with a kid, whether like you think that you're going to be in this for the long term or not,
Yep.
is essentially um, being a part of that kid's life.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't see it as that, like whether it
I'm
wants
not gonna lie. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
whether they want it to be an intimate thing or not, like
Hmm.
they don't see it as being a part of that kid's life. But even taking a woman on a date is taking her away from her child. So you are still in some way inserting yourself into that child's life. And I want to know, like, how did you come about realizing that you were going to date this woman with a child?
That was fire, boy. I think a lot of more men need to actually hear it in that way. Especially how you broke it down. How you easily just said taking her on a date is you're instantly trying to put yourself in her life. That's a lot of people don't think about that. But I'm not gonna lie. When I stepped into it, I was definitely at first like, I don't want to date nobody with kids. At the time, I was what 22, 23, whatever at the time. I don't want nobody with kids. And then I met her. I was like, all right, I don't think I really want it. He got a dad. He could do him. But definitely spending the time and I spent a whole bunch of time with him, and over time, we just grew a bond. Like at first, it was just more like, "Oh, what's up, little dude? little dude. Let's go play, little dude. Let me take him to the movies, or it is definitely grew a bond. And then even me, I grew up with my stepmom and everything, so I definitely understood how having another parent actually being there can actually be helpful for you. So I definitely want to be there, especially being a man, a young man. Like I wanted my dad raised me, like I said. So me being in a little man's life at all, I can guide him. I thought my dad raised me right. So if I can teach that little dude the same lessons, that's a blessing for me. So that definitely, sorry, went off a little topic a little bit, but yeah, I just let that little dude. Y'all really don't know. But definitely it took me a while, but I definitely like, you know what? No, like it took me a minute because I definitely at first was like more like we're just gonna just keep it distant. But by three or something, I think he had called me dad or something like that, and that just definitely was like, dang, that is real. Like you really look at me like your dad. Like it was real, like that type of thing. And that was like the cherry on top. And ever since then, we just been like this.
Yeah.
It's been hard, but it's hard, but it's real. I love that little dude more than anything. Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's that's beautiful. Um, I told y'all I can't
Definitely.
see. So I'm over here like I can't see. Uh,
Sorry. Yeah.
so what are some things? No, no, no. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
going back because I skipped the whole thing I want to talk about.
Uh-huh.
Going back. No, 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 no. Sorry, because I realized I didn't
Go ahead.
write this in the questions, and I wanted to
Nah, you
make sure
good.
I
You good. We
say
taking a
this
look. Go ahead.
the
Go ahead. Go
correct
ahead.
way.
Go ahead.
Um, so after being a stepdad
Mm-hmm.
and getting a glimpse of what parenting is
Mm-hmm.
and having that responsibility, what did you feel like when you realized that you know you procreated?
All right. So I'm always grateful to say because he taught me how to be a father.
Mm-hmm.
Especially like seeing it from the toddler, the infant toddler to like really a kid now, type of age. So I definitely seen it throughout the face. So I feel like it prepped me. But when I got the seen the pregnancy test for the daughter, I was like, it kind of just got me like, damn, am I ready for this? Like, I don't know if I'm really like, and I'm like, shit, like, especially having a daughter, I'm like, oh Lord, why? But it definitely felt like he definitely it showed me. I feel like it trained me. I feel like I was ready. The only thing I was not ready for was diapers because I was not around the diaper stage. So I definitely had to practice on so a couple of dolls a little bit, tying make tying myself and everything. But yeah, it was crazy. Like it was an amazing feeling to know that you had your own child on here. Like you got your own flesh and blood about to be on the way. And then even more, my dad's just been waiting for me to have a grandchild for so long too. So it was like I checked something off my list. Like I made my family proud in a way. But, I made myself proud because I made it happen. So, yeah.
Great. How's your dad? I know he be spoiling that kid, and you just be
Oh
looking.
yeah. He be
I
wanting her all the time. He be wanting her she see her almost every weekend. Almost every weekend. So yeah, he love her. That's
you
his
gotta
little
look at him
mama.
sideways, cause like you didn't do that with me. Why do grandparents do that? Like you ain't do that with me.
It's so crazy because I be thinking that time, I be hard on little dude, but then I'm like, if he has a kid, I'm like, oh, where my grandchild at? But like my dad was the same. My dad's the same right now. I'm like, Dad, you used to be bullying me around.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Now you wanna? Oh no, it's okay. She's okay. She's okay. Like it's whatever. But I don't know what's going on. That's how parents is, I guess.
Yeah, you had it. You gave him a kid. You lost.
Basically, yeah. He is like, all gifts that you think you're getting is going to her. He's like all Christmas gifts is going to her now. Like,
Yeah.
gotta get real. Yeah.
So, how are you feeling now?
Well, in reality, did not know I would not be getting this much, not getting sleep. I wish I would have knew this beforehand. Would have prepped myself. But now, all this aside, it's a blessing. I'm really happy. Like I'm really happy. Like I'd be tired, but when I come home and see her beautiful face, it's like, it's worth it. And I just
Yeah.
keep stay posting. I'm happy. I'm extremely happy right now, overall in my life.
Adorable.
Thank
Um,
you so much.
how do you feel when you pray? You know, the crazy thing is like we put a lot of onus on women and how they feel during pregnancy, but
Hmm.
through my own experience, like men go through pregnancy too, and that's the crazy part.
Man,
How like energy works is so crazy because
yep.
my daughter's father knew I was pregnant before I did.
Mm,
Well, I knew, but he like felt it. Like he was having
yeah,
feelings and all that stuff before I did, which was like amazing to me because you can actually like see that these two energies, like
yep.
these two energies that came together, is really happening, and it's happening in real time.
Hmm.
Kind of, sort of, I feel like creating this person through that energy at the same time because like
Yep.
that's crazy how you feel it too. So like, how did you feel?
So I remember the exact. I remember when I got the notification, or not the notification. I remember I just came home from Arizona, and I think I went home, unpacked my stuff and everything. And then I got home, and the pregnancy test was on the what is it, the sink, and I was like, and I think she wrote, "Hey, Dad," and I was like, like it's real. Like I just remember just staring at this man along, like, damn, it's real. And I don't know, that energy was real. Like I was like, all right, cool. We do need to talk more about men during pregnancy. Like I feel like a lot of us really, like, at least I can really speak for myself. I was trying to be more strong for, my significant other. Like I had to make sure if she was tired, I'll try to step a little bit more, make sure that she's okay before I go to sleep, or and everything like that. So the less stress is on her, is better for the baby. So I always thinking about it, but definitely had to go through a lot, especially with the pregnancy I had with everything with my baby and everything like that. We had a few little scares and everything like that, but it's a blessing to be here. Like I look at pregnancy way differently now. Like especially seeing everything too. Like I look at it way differently now. Like I have a whole different respect for it. Like when people say they want to have a healthy child, I understand it completely. Me, like when y'all say y'all want to just have a healthy child here, like not a boy or girl, just want to have a healthy child. I get it 100% now. But it's hard on the men though. I ain't gonna even lie. Like having a pregnancy scare, you might have to rush to the hospital just for it to be a cramp or something. Like stuff like that, or just want her to be happy, make sure that she picks everything that she wants for everything, but you want to have your input on everything too. Like, it's a lot. It was hard. So we're making everything work though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I hope you rubbing her feet too.
Oh, she need to rub my feet. I'm tired.
Rubber.
I'm, mm.
Um. So, what are some things that you want for your kids?
I want them to one overall just to be happy. I want them to be happy down the line and everything that they do. I'm not gonna tell them what to do. I'm just gonna only tell them what just kind of just hint at, not even hint, just show them both ways or kind of tell them both ways, and that's on them to pick what they want. I'm saying no other way, help them to be happy. Besides that, shit, honestly, I want some grandkids, so they need to bring me some grandkids. I know I want some grandkids down the line. I want to be a grandpa too. Nah, but without that, I want them to have success, whatever career and everything that they're gonna be in, especially down the line. I feel like it's gonna be with the next world and everything, how like the meta world and everything is. I just want them to have success, some kind of pick that up and everything, whether it's a trade or something like that. So they just be happy and just be successful. That's what I really want in their life. That's what I want in life, honestly. You know. What did Drake say? I just want to be six. Yeah, I know. Don't let me have to pull out my Jay song vocals for
I
you.
was about to
So,
say before we end this, you gonna
they
have to
wasn't
do
ready for it.
a rap or something because y'all don't
Hey,
know
look, come
is
on, man.
the a fire flame spitter.
Hey, man. All I can say is I'm dropping something soon. Y'all can check that out. Everybody go follow my Instagram page, Lemons to Millions. Lemons like the fruit. I'm definitely having some music dropping soon. I got some more music dropping soon. Yeah, I feel like I'm doing a lot. I got a lot of things I'm trying to check off my checklist this year. So,
Okay, that is
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Going back to the kids. So,
Back to the chilling.
what are some fears that you have for your kids?
Mm. Ooh, that's hard. I ain't even gonna lie. I don't want some fears. I don't want them to ever feel like they can't talk to me. That's what it is. That's one of the biggest. I feel like I didn't have that for my kid. I mean, for my parent and everything like that. Like now he's like, oh, you could talk to me, no, but you wasn't telling me, or you wasn't, and, making me feel like I could talk. So I definitely I don't want them to ever feel like that because all they really want, any that one conversation could change anything. You missing that and then missing that, they can miss out a lot. So definitely missing, that. I think that's probably my biggest fear because I really did not have that growing up, and I'm saying that because I just had to talk with my father about that. So,
Yeah.
definitely getting over my past traumas, and don't want them to live with that. So, yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Right.
I don't. Oh, another one. I don't want them to grow up like how I grew up. Like I don't want them to be. I don't want them to I want them to still see the hood because so I feel like that build. I feel like the hood build character. That's what I feel like. They do that, but y'all not about to live in the hood. I'm just telling y'all that now. I'm grinding so y'all don't have to live in the hood. I'm grinding so y'all don't have to, struggle the same way I have to struggle and everything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my biggest fear. So,
Right. And speaking of past traumas, like with parents and stuff like that,
oh yeah.
how do you see that playing out in your parenting?
I see me now. Like I'd be like, dang, I never want to parent like my dad, but I noticed I kind of in a way kind of parent like my father a little bit. Like like even like me, I noticed how. Oh, my fault, AC. Sorry about that. Like my dad was always quick to yell and not kind of hint at things, and I'm do that a little bit now, but I'll be having to correct myself. Like, dang, don't be like your dad. Hold on, okay. So I'll be trying to see that. And I see me actually parenting like my dad a lot. Actually, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be like George. Oh Lord, but yeah, I'm trying to get over that. I don't really know how I would have been with my mom. Um, so me being there, that's definitely a trauma that I'm dealing with because my mom not being there, I'm letting my kids know I'm going to be there. So that's definitely another trauma. Yeah.
Mhm. That's deep. Um, what are some things that you want them to know about life?
Really, just you only live here once. Like I'm not even on some YOLO type of stuff, not on some funny stuff, but you really only here live here once. So whatever decision that you make, just make sure it's the right one that you want it to be. Like don't make sure you don't have to second guess it down the line. I definitely have to do. I feel like when I was growing up, I had some stuff that I wish that I should have did, but I didn't. I don't want my kids to deal with that. So whatever decision that you're making down the line, make sure that's the final one that you wanted to do. Um, what else? Don't take life so. Don't take it too serious though. Still have fun. I feel like I was growing up thinking that I need to have thinking life was way more serious than I can say than it was, but it was. And I wish I would have just had way more fun. So definitely doing that, but then that's what I wish.
I
You know.
mean, you still got time to have fun and you're young.
You know, I'll be seeing people in their 20s like, oh, we're old, or we're almost 30, or we're almost old. No, that's all in your mindset, brother, man. Like,
Yeah.
feel me? I'm still young out here. But yeah.
You're still young. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy because society definitely does make you feel old. Like once you start getting to 30, I don't know where did that come from. Maybe I don't know, maybe our grandparents or something like that because they had, a family of 10 but so maybe they
By 30, they had a household.
they
You
had a
feel me?
house, they had land, they had children,
She said
children.
land.
That's like, so maybe that's it. Like they felt old, so we have to greetings. We have to feel old because of that. But like if you really look at it and if you really think about it, like that's really young. Like that's
Hell
extremely
yeah.
young. And I like what Gary Vee always talks about. Like you can fuck up so many times and start over. Like you're not old until you like sit down. You know what I'm saying? Like really
Yep.
not until you sit down. And if you actually truly think about it and our development, especially in America, like we're not that old.
Yeah.
Like we are
No, we're
not
not.
old
We're
at
not.
all. Some of us have lived long lives,
Mm,
but we're really not that old. And
yep.
if we want to, we have a long life ahead of us.
You're never too old to restart, to try something new. Like you said, we have a whole bunch of time. Like I was just in school and I just seen like a 80-year-old in class. Like, it's never too old to learn something or, to try something new. That's how I look at it.
Right.
So sorry to piggyback off what you're saying. Go ahead.
Right. But just period. Like even not even thinking counting the days. Like
Mm,
if you think about all the things that you want to do, they're all attainable. Like
mm-hmm,
literally every single thing you want to do is attainable. So if you even reach one of those goals, if your goal is just to get up in the morning, like if you like you live that day, like you know,
mm-hmm. No,
think
yeah, no, yeah.
far in the future that it feel or so like our past is so distorted that we feel like things have been longer than it is and that we have a finish line and there's no finish line. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? Everybody want to live in their purpose, but you live in
yep.
your purpose just living. It's
Mm-hmm.
what you do with that life.
Time. Everybody got the same 24 hours,
Right.
you know?
But everybody's 24 hours don't look the same, and everybody's 24 hours is not supposed to be the same. Like, we have the same 24 hours, but in that 24 hours, our day could look totally
That's
fucking.
true. No, you're right.
Our life could be totally
You're right.
different. Our mindset, we could have the same exact day, and our mindset still be different. So
Mm-hmm.
it's not the exact same because, like I said, time is an illusion, and it's cultivated on our perception.
Mm,
So we are living in our purpose. Just got to figure out what we're doing with time that at that moment instead of
yep.
looking at it at a finish line because we're never going to be finished. Once you reach that goal,
Mm-hmm.
it's another one, right?
Yep.
Just living in that time. And I went off on a tangent when we was talking about kids, but I'm just saying, like, if we're going to be teaching our kids anything about living,
yeah.
it should be to live.
Yeah. Yeah. I like. I agree. That's what I said. Don't take it too serious. Everybody, still have fun. Life is, you really only here once. YOLO. You know. So, yeah. So
You go drink after you're a little old.
you see what I'm talking about? I'm up damn near 30s.
I was playing,
Got me feeling,
but I'm
too
up
damn
there.
precious. Nah, go ahead.
I'm up there too. I'm not. I'm not hip to any of these
Oh,
new
you just had a birthday. Good for you.
things.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
So we're gonna talk about you and your love life though now.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's get
So
into it.
you found love,
I have. I
and
have.
tell us what it's like
All
as people
right.
without it, and what it's
Yeah.
like to find love.
Stupid. So I'm
2000s.
engaged. I'm engaged. We've been rocking for six years. Proposed 2 years ago. We met at Europe a year. If y'all don't know what it is, it's a tech program out there. I actually met her fresh out of a relationship too, and I was like, I don't want to date nobody. Like I'm just came into this program to learn, just to get my education and leave. That didn't happen. So yeah, we met. You try to just stop like, oh yeah, we just friends. We nothing like that. Yeah, it just grew to be like that for sure. Yeah, we've been rocking for 6 years. It's a blessing. Like I said, she's one of the people I look up to. She just got her master's. Now she got me going back to school and everything like that now. Like, I love her. Y'all don't even know. Especially to find somebody like your other half for real, it's a blessing. A lot of people don't find that person. So,
Yeah, right.
you know,
And that's beautiful. That is a beautiful thing to find. But I want to talk about women right
ooh,
now.
let's
And
talk about them.
I want to talk
You
about
know,
accountability because I'm really big on
ooh,
accountability for ourselves, but also I feel like, and I've talked about this plenty of times on my
mm-hmm,
lives, but I
mm-hmm,
feel like we have our, what's it called, privileges,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm.
everybody has their privileges in a different way. And I believe women's privilege is that we don't have to be accountable for men and their feelings. And what I mean by that is, um, it's nice, and I know a lot of women do champion men. However, in relationships, in intimacy, we don't have to be accountable for your feelings, right? So
Yeah,
we have an argument or whatever. I can use an excuse. You
yep,
need to suck it up. You need to man up. We can use all these words
yep,
to not hold ourselves accountable for how we make you feel,
yep.
right? And I think that that's something that definitely needs to change. It's conversations. I believe through conversations.
Hold on, brother.
I,
Hold on.
it's fine.
I'm,
You breaking up. I don't know what you just said.
my bad. I said I have to hang up and call you right back. I have to move. They're saying I have to move. So yeah, I have to hang up and catch back on. All right.
My bad, y'all. So he gotta move, but this conversation is getting good. This is crazy. This is really a good friend of mine. We haven't had a conversation in a long time, but it's getting good. I hope that you all are enjoying the conversation. Um, yeah, how was y'all day going? How y'all liking the live so far? Talk to me. Um, I talk big, but back to women and our accountability. Like, we truly don't have to be accountable for any man or how we interact with them. And there should be some point in time where we are checking ourselves and looking for better communication. And I think through that, through like actually having dialogue with men and listening, because that's another thing that we don't have to actually do. I think a lot of times us as women, we get in our head that we want to hear what we want to hear, which I feel like society has taught us that we're the center of the world, which we are. Don't let them fool you. But as the center of the world, we still have a responsibility, right? And our responsibility is to be understanding and to be nurturing. And in that respect, that means that we also have to listen. We also have to hear other people's point of views and sides and actually digest it, right? And not just listening to people to respond and not just listening to people to hear what we want to hear. I remember I was on this clubhouse room and one of my friends was running it and they asked a very pertinent question, but it was a question and it was like women asking men questions, and the men gave an answer. Mind you, I don't know what they was talking about. It wasn't my type of room, so I forgot all about what the conversation was. But I remember thinking, leaving the room thinking like, wow, like we really don't listen. Like we really don't listen. And I'm saying we as an outsider, but I'm still in the room, so I'm participating. But it was basically the men telling them like, we have no idea, and it was a majority group. We have no idea why we do this action. I don't remember what it was, but we have no idea why. And it was like, no, 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 you gotta tell us. No, 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 this and that. And nothing is black and white, right? Nothing is ever going to be black and white, but nothing is usually ever how we see it either, right? There's three sides to every story. It's your side, your truth, my truth, and then whatever the real truth is, which lies in that gray area, right? And we got to figure out how to come to a consensus and listen to understand, which means we're going to be meeting in that gray area. And it doesn't mean that we agree, which is the part that I feel like us as women don't hold ourselves accountable for, that not agreeing part. Like, I don't agree with you, or you made me upset. You did this, so you aren't being a man to me. And it's always an attack on how men are men, or a masculine is supposed to be. It doesn't have to be a man, like a masculine person is supposed to be. And it's not true, right? We're all human and we all have our feelings and we all have the right to feel how we feel. But we have to be able to to hear that out and to understand that. I hope he finds a park soon. I don't know where he at, but yeah, I just think it's interesting that we don't hold ourselves accountable in that way. But I hope it's getting better. I see a lot more conversations coming about, and a lot more times we are talking to each other. There needs to be a better curated conversation most of the time. However, I think we are talking to each other. Even in my own experience, I remember feeling like men and women were equal. He said he's running in the house. I remember feeling like men and women are equal because a lot of times, like, we all struggle, and a lot of times our struggles are the same. I didn't take into account that chemically we are actually different, right? So I used to be like you can't tell me nothing. Like, I go through things, you go through things, you can't tell me nothing. Like, I understand, and I'm like the most understanding person, I feel like. But at the same time, when it comes to human things, I'm not understanding about that, right? So I feel like this doesn't make any sense. And then the more I started having conversations outside of my friend group, right? Because we have conversations with our friend groups, and I have groups of guys where I'm able to understand you because you're my friend and I know what you're going through. I'm not taking into account that you're a male. I'm just taking into account that you are my friend and I know that you're going through something and this, but I'm not looking at it on the outside perspective of, you know, sexes and the fact that you actually are different. Like, you actually are different in the way that you process things, and not just because of your genes, but society has conditioned us to process things different. And society has conditioned us to feel like are certain things are right for women and certain things are right for men, and this is how we're supposed to be and stuff like that. And welcome back. I just
Sorry
talked
about that,
about how,
everybody.
men and women are actually different, and we've been programmed a lot of times to feel um, like what our differences actually are. And for me, as a woman, I used to understand differences between men and women on a friend level and not on a societal or chemical level that we
What you
actually,
mean?
because I used to think like we're men and we're women, but we go through the same thing. Like,
Hmm.
I'm strong too, you strong too. Like, we can do the same things. Like, there's
Yeah.
no difference. And after talking to people who weren't in my friend group, who I didn't have a relationship, and actually hearing conversations and talking to larger groups of men than who I was around, I started to understand more of what that difference is,
No, I agree.
and
Because I'm going
what
through that
that
too.
process is of, like, you had, like, we are taught to process things different. So
Hmm.
we might have the same struggle, but we are processing it differently. Like, we are processing, women are processing things on emotion, men are processing things logically. So there is always going to be this disconnect that needs to be met here, right? And not like this, because a lot of times we get our wires crossed, and because we don't have communication,
Yep.
we get we blow things out of proportion, and a lot of
Correct.
times it be like an easy fix, which is
Yep.
why, like, I am very adamant now about,
Hmm.
like, our youth and taking debate, right?
Yep.
Because one thing I learned in debate was how to listen,
Yep.
how to actually hear what someone is saying, how to actually communicate and have a conversation with someone, and
Hmm.
things like that, because without those tools, our communication sounds different, and to
Yep.
actually ask the right questions.
And that's actually big even more now because that goes with anything. That goes with relationships. That can go with work. That can go with anything like community. Like I think a lot of people just talk, like you said, we're not trying to listen. Though. They just want to get their point across. But if you
Right.
can easily just listen to what they have to say, oh, that's easy to be fixed. Like
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sorry, go ahead though.
Exactly. No,
Yep.
with that piece, I want to know, like, in what ways was your fiance able to nurture your feelings? Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, no, I ain't gonna lie. She taught me how to communicate. Like I was the one like quick to talk without listening. Like she's the one like, okay, Jay, like we need to, we all got like you're frustrated, I'm frustrated, but like our common goal is at the end of the day, we got to be together. We are a team. Like we're not opposite anything like that. So she definitely taught me how to communicate big, and like so she's big on that. Like she, yeah, I ain't gonna even lie to you because I got problems, y'all. I ain't gonna lie, I got problems. I got problems. So my fault. What was the question again? I'm sorry. Went off topic. Sorry. Go.
How
Sorry.
was you able to nurture your feelings? Because I feel like, I mean, it's for somebody, and this is just my opinion, but also like from the outside looking in, um, you there has to be some type of nurturing, especially with black men. Like
Mm,
I'm really, really big on this. Like black men need nurturing. Y'all need babies.
yeah.
There's a lot of babies out there, but y'all
Yeah.
need a different type of nurturing. Black men need to be loved in a different type of way. So, what
Yeah.
was that way that
Oh, this really just like I said,
you?
communicating really, because like I'd be frustrated about everything. She just broke it down how to communicate. Why are you so frustrated? And then when I released and everything, she was like, okay, why you just didn't say that? Now you feel good. You feel better now, right? I'm like, okay. Like I guess I never thought about that, and I just woke up because in my past relationship, it wasn't cool like that. I wasn't to feel open. I didn't feel like I could talk about my feelings and everything like that. And so she's definitely like being reassuring me like, just talk to me and everything's gonna be okay. Like if you just be honest and everything, like we just cool, communicate. That's how she just really just. That's what she's big on. That's how she done it with me though. These whole 6 years. Yeah, that's me.
And also, so what things have you had to change to become a better person in the relationship?
Um, one, listen. Like I said, I talk without listening. A lot of things. What else? I wish I could have pulled her in here and asked her like, hey, what did I need to really change about myself? Shit, she definitely got the baby. Really listening. Um, oh, actually setting goals. Like actually, because like I could set goals but not following up on them. So she made me change that completely because that made me with the whole engagement that went with, like we're trying to buy a house and everything like that. She just showed me like you need to make a goal. Like you need to change your ways about that. So communicating, listening, and then setting goals. Yeah, I think I really have to change that about myself. Besides that, I'm still pretty much a J. Yeah, what you see is what you get. She know that.
Yeah, so you a headache. That's what you.
She had to look up a little bit. Like, did she hear me? Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, when did you know that you wanted to take the next step?
So one thing, I don't think a lot of dudes, even my age, don't. I think never even think about marriage. I always knew like I want a wife. Like at the end of the day, like having girlfriends, doing little things and stuff like that is fun, but I always knew to have a wife. Um, by the time I think it was our fourth year, I was like, bro, I think this is really her. Like she really, you feel me? Like stuck. She really her. Really stupid. Um, like she really just, I did messed up a lot. You're not gonna say a lot. I messed up. Took me back. She helped me. Like I just knew she was the one. Like I was like, I can't let this go, bro. I don't be.
Stress ball, but you are
I
too.
don't. Yeah, but you need to don't let us get on you. We, hey, son. But
Don't she up
definitely by when
next?
I'm, but all my family approved of her. Like I said, Greed matter. Like all my partners approved. Like it was just I knew that was the one. Like I can't let this one slip up. Like if I knew, I couldn't let it slip up. I'd be a fool. You know. That's when I knew I had to do that. It was nervous though. Definitely over here, was sweating bullets when it was happening and everything. But yeah, bruh, what is you, bruh? You can't,
Great.
bruh. Get up out the comments, bruh.
I know.
Dang, we up
No,
here,
she
dang,
said for
we,
y'all who can't see the comments.
dang.
Best friend
You,
said he was in love from day one. He was bragging.
dang. Definitely was bragging. No, I ain't gonna even lie. I was like, oh yeah, bro, I got me something. I got me one, bruh. Sean, you know you got to show the picture, like. Like, bro, I got, bro. She cool, bro. You know, even though you know she cool, she cool, bro. Yeah, that one of them ones. But yeah, that was
Yeah,
with it though. Yeah,
yeah, she's definitely.
yeah.
And I definitely wish you guys all the best
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
I know. You're gonna be a great husband. You better not be stressing her out, okay?
What about me? Why she
What?
can't stress me out? No, I'm playing. I'm definitely the headache. I'm definitely the biggest headache
I
though.
know I was talking about accountability and women, but look, like I said
I'm
before,
definitely.
we are the center of the world, so we still need that.
I'm definitely.
Still need
No, I
that.
definitely. You're right. You're right. But thank you so much, man. Man, sheesh, taking it day by day. So I love it though. You know you invited to the wedding. You know you coming through. Coming through. Got you.
Sure. Okay. See, I had a kid, and she don't want to listen because she see me distracted, right? She think I'm distracted, that she could just be popping in and out.
Be up and everything.
Uh, Bobblehead over there putting her head in the door, but
Yeah. Sheesh.
distracted. Okay, but anyway, so tell the people about your ventures into entrepreneurship.
All right. So I'm gonna be real. I think me what kind of kicked off me want to be like an entrepreneur or anything like that was watching Shark Tank. Damon John, the one that made Fubu and everything like that. That was like that's my favorite shark. Um,
Mhm.
him, I forgot my other guy. They'd be like, "You're dead to me." But like seeing that, I was like, "Damn, I could do that." I didn't know. I honestly didn't know a black man made Fubu. I'm gonna be honest with you until watching Shark Tank and everything like that. So seeing that, and then around 2013, 2014, seeing Nip had like the whole Crenshaw stuff, I was like, bro, I want to do something like that. But I didn't know how to start it and everything like that. So honestly, once he kind of passed away, that kind of was like, bro, I don't know what kind of this kicked off, and maybe it shouldn't have been his death, but that definitely kind of kicked off. Like, bro, you could do this. You can. It's hard because it definitely is hard being in business. Because everybody wants to take off own your own business, so you don't have to work a 9 to 5. When in reality, you're gonna be working even more now. You work at 24/7.
Person.
Um, so that definitely kicked it off for me and everything like that. But actually, just dropping the first, believing in myself, asking, because I was more like asking everybody, like, does this look good? Does this look good? In reality, I'm doing it for myself. Like, I like the designs. I know this look good. Like whether if your friends like it or not, outside people gonna like it.
Right.
So that definitely was like my kickoff, and yeah, I'm here with it. Like I'm taking it still hard, taking it day by day, but I'm trying to get all as much sales as I can every day. It's hard. Some days are better than others.
You're right. And what made you think of the name?
So I always like everybody knows the quote of when life throw you lemons, gotta make lemonade. I was having a talk with my old he was like he was like a CEO kind of status and exactly we was having talks and he was just like I forgot what exactly we're having to talk about with the line, but he was like, yeah, Jay, when you have to use what you can do. You're very smart, Jay. So, when life throw you lemons, make lemonade. And I was like, well, that lemonade needs to make me some millions. And I was like, oh, lemons to millions, LTM. I like that. So I kind of just took that and kind of ran with it. And then especially when I tell people, when I throw you lemons, make million, make millions, they're like, oh, I like that. Oh, okay. Like, yeah, it gets the conversation going. I
Yeah.
got it going.
Yeah, look, I remember, I don't know if it was before you started it or what, but I remember you talking about wanting to do something like this.
Yeah. I think my first one, I think I was going to call it Pharaoh's Apparel because I was big on like Pharaohs and everything like that. I even had like a little trial run and everything like that. And I was like, let's throw that in like the little cubby book and we'll come back to that later on. And then, yeah, just took off with LTM after that. And, yeah, stuck with it ever since then.
Yeah, it's the life of an entrepreneur, right? Is
Yeah, man. No,
they,
for real, I had a whole notebook full of names. So I was like, don't like it scrap. Just some school scrap. But yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
that's the beauty of it, right? Because I had a whole product line that I had to scratch.
Mm,
And it's like you figure it out as you go. And I think
for real.
that's also like a word for life. Because me, I don't know about you, but me, I'm a perfectionist. Like,
Mm-hmm.
fault. Like I'm a professional. I'm just like everything gotta be cool. Like I gotta
Yeah,
like every single last detail. I don't care because I'm great at everything I do. So anything I touch gotta be great.
yeah.
And it's not life isn't like that. And
No, I
like
agree because you can
and
actually put your stuff in pause by
right
doing all
and
that like that.
entrepreneurship is really not like that. Right. And
Mm-hmm.
I think for so long, and I think this go back to what we were talking about before about feeling old. We were taught by older people that were in solitary long-term careers that this is
Mm-hmm.
what it is, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
get something you perfected, you have to do
Yep.
this, and that. But what I come to realize, not only in entrepreneurship, but like being in, the tech industry and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and realizing that none of these niggas know what they doing. Like, not absolutely not
You be
one of
staring at the
them
chorus like, bruh,
know
what I
what
say
they
in my
doing.
interview? What I say in
Like,
my interview to get me
they
here?
lied
Nah,
on
but
the interview. You ain't got no qualifications. You don't know
yep.
what the hell is going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
me, like I said, being good at everything I do, I'm sitting here watching these people with less qualifications with me wing it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to realize that, like, that's what life is. And although I'm still a perfectionist, just working on how I channel that, but like,
Yep.
life is about just going for it, and
Yep.
everything else will fall into line
You
after
miss
that.
100% of the shots. You miss 100% of the shots you don't make. You don't miss shoot. Whatever. I get where I'm going with the
Yeah,
concept. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that's so true. Like,
Yep.
thinking that we have to have everything perfect and all these what ifs and all that shit. None
Mm-hmm.
of that matters, because
Sure.
I started a whole company and then had to figure out how I'm going to not only just sell to the people like on the street, but I got to sell to people. I will give to
Oh.
people in prison. Like,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
how was I going to do that? Like,
Yep. Yep.
it's so hard to get into there. And I only got into one, I got into two, and I didn't even try. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like, just going for it, and starting it. I just
Yep.
literally had this conversation with my 6-year-old because we were talking about when I drive in my car before I start the car, I always talk to God, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
I need to make it to my destination.
No. Oh
Everybody
yeah. For
around
sure.
me needs to make it to my destination, because if you ain't making it to the destination, I don't want to be around you while you're not making it to your destination.
No. Yeah. No.
All got
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
be there
I hear
safe,
you.
right? Because, like, I'm
Yep.
in the car talking to God, and I'm also manifesting some millions, right? So we go.
Oh yeah. I say that every day. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
On
Since we
foot.
talking and I'm on the road, let's talk about this too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm talking about that, and we talking about finances and things like that. And she asked me a question. I forgot what word it was, but she asked me a question. Um, about God. She was like, God, Mom, God doesn't make it happen. No, what she say? God doesn't make you manifest or something like that. And I was like, no, babe, like, you got to do the work. Like, the
Mm-hmm.
reason why they say, like, faith without works is dead. Like, you have to start,
Journey.
and then God does the rest. Like, God doesn't do things for you, although
Yep.
sometimes you might get a nudge, but like, you got to do the
You gotta
footwork.
put the steps
I
in. Yeah.
I do the footwork, start
Yep.
moving these feet, and then
Yep.
everything else comes to me, right?
Yep.
And I think a lot of times, even if you don't believe in God, like, a lot of times we're waiting on something to come to us, it's like
Mm.
something that we want to come
Yeah.
to, and that doesn't make any sense. Like, if you
Yep.
want it, move in the direction of that, and don't worry about the how.
Mm-hmm.
Worry about the what and the why. The most
It's
important,
crazy.
the why, but
Yep.
worry about the what and the why, and everything else will follow suit.
Yep. I agree. It's funny because I just posted something today on my Instagram and it was like everybody knows what they want to do. It's just they just don't want to do it. You don't want to put the steps behind it. In a way that's kind of just being lazy. In a way, without you being saying it, it's like you just being lazy. You know what you want. Make that first step. Like I said, you gotta, like you said, you can pray for it, but you gotta put the footwork behind it. And that's big in church, everybody.
Or fear, like,
Mm-hmm.
feared not to make it. But I like what Steve Harvey say. Like, it sucks if you stop in hell. Why would you stop in hell? You gotta
Why
give
would
you,
you just?
like, it's stuck at the bottom. It's gonna be hard at the top. It's
Yep.
either way. Like, either
Yep.
way,
I
go
agree.
your hard. And
Yep.
I want to be, I want my heart to be on top of multi-millions.
Yeah.
So,
No, for sure.
multi-millions, it can be harder. It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard, but I want to be able to do all the things that I want to do. Like, I have such a long list and such a big impact that I want to make in the world, that I don't
Yeah.
have a choice to not move. And I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
you watch David Shan's podcast. but if you don't, you should. He's
Okay.
amazing. He's a content creator. He will be out here in the Bay Area. I'm promoting this. I'm not, I'm not getting any coins, but I should be. But
Go ahead.
I absolutely love him because
Uh,
I send him to everybody. But I absolutely love him, and he interviews people who are millionaires, multimillionaires, and just ask them questions about how they made it and how they got to where they are. And he
mm,
just interviews this guy. I forget his last name, but his name is Naveen something. He's a
okay.
billionaire,
Okay.
and he was talking about basically he came from nothing, like absolutely nothing, and his whole journey was one of faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
He sees everything in a real positive light. Nothing is, nothing is bad, which is true. There's no good and bad, truly, but like nothing is bad. Everything, he spins it into some way that he can utilize it for something good,
Yeah.
and he basically was able to become a billionaire because of that mindset. And it just hit me like, oh, having a positive mindset equates to being a strategic thinker, and
No, I
being
agree.
a strategic thinker allows you all the possibilities in the world.
Yep.
And it's crazy because it's really the truth. Like having a disposition of no matter what is happening, like this is happening from either this is happening for my greater good, or
Mm-hmm.
something is going to come out of this that is better, right?
Yep.
And then utilizing that to like utilizing that in your next move or a few moves down the line
Yep.
allows you to open yourself up for other opportunities. Like
Yep.
there's so many other things that can come from this one thing that is
I
happening.
agree. It's funny you say that. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. No, it's funny because my manager, we were just talking this the other day, and where he was just saying like Monday is his favorite day. We grew up kind of, or everybody grows up thinking that Monday is like, ugh, it's back to work, it's the worst day out the week. But he was
I
just
love
saying if you just start their first day with, it's a great day.
right.
Monday's the best day out the week. It's gonna lead the rest of the days out the week so it can be positive thinking, everything like that. And I was like, you know what? Wow, I guess I never thought about it like that. You could just easily flip that negative to a positive. It can just change our whole little output on everything, like as quick as a Monday. And that's just one thing. We can just talk about every other thing. So sorry to pick that. I had to just go ahead and share that. I like that.
Yeah, and it's true. Like I actually love Mondays. I love like
I'm still a Friday person, but I
girl
feel
has
you. Go ahead.
59 on her arm. It was like every new day is the new time to start over, and it's true. Like 11:59, 12 o'clock a.m. That's a new day.
Mm,
It's time for something new. Like everything we can utilize everything in our
yeah,
lives to our advantage, like even if
yeah,
it wasn't the best, like even my situation, like how I end up here, like you know what I'm saying, like who would have thought me going to prison would have led me to help all these people who
mm,
have been through trauma, who have,
mm,
who are incarcerated, or finding my place in
yeah,
the where I knew that I was supposed to be healing. I just wasn't doing it in the right way. It was counteractive to who I was, but
mm-hmm.
actually being able to utilize that pain or transmute that pain and turn it into something that is bigger than me.
It's crazy because like I love I be really looking into like energies and everything like stuff like that right now, and like the bored at work type of thing like that, and it's really just started to come still going back on the kind of positive kind of thinking and everything like that. And I would just be telling my son this too, like you gotta just be positive. Like he walk around this negative, I'm like, Brett, no, you gotta just put that positive energy out there because you really just it's going to change the way that you think. It's going to change the way you can have your low attitude right now, but I promise you, as soon as you put anything out there, to be happy about something, it's going to change everything, bro. It's big, and I'm trying to teach him that young, so as he get older, he can teach his sister, but then also just teach his wife or teach his kids and stuff like that. Sorry, go ahead.
Right?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Is life. Like gratitude is literally the key
Mm-hmm.
to life. But I think um we gotta watch out for being like for false positives, you know,
Mm.
because false positivity. I mean, because a lot of times without context and without the right tools or understanding or like
Yep.
intelligence, we can either shy away from it or utilize it in a way that is detrimental to ourselves. Like it is still okay to feel your feelings. It's
Yep.
still okay to not be okay. It
Yep.
is still like
Like I'm glad that that's open now. It's more open about this now, and it's
right.
like,
But gratitude, again, I said this in my last life, but gratitude allows you to go from there, like go from down here. This is like your regular self. Go from down here to here when you're
mm-hmm.
in a moment that it's not, your full self. You know what I mean? And a lot
Yep.
of times when we're not feeling ourselves, it's hard to see things to be grateful for and or
Yeah.
utilizing this gratitude word or utilizing the things that we've been taught to be grateful for as a shield,
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes toxic because
Yeah.
you are not truly feeling the feelings that you need to feel, and it's important to do both. And
Yeah. No.
doesn't mean gratitude too doesn't mean happiness. And I think that's where like the lines get blurred. Gratitude does not mean happy.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude means that you are appreciating something in life that you have access to,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Because happiness is fleeting, and that's a lot of things that people get mixed up too. Like we are really striving for joy, but
Yeah.
happiness is fleeting. We can be happy
Ooh.
today and sad tomorrow, but joy. That's what they say. Joy comes in the morning.
Yeah.
Joy is always there. Joy is this being, right?
Yeah.
And we use
Wow.
gratitude as a way to be like, I'm okay, I'm all right, everything's good. And
Yep.
not, it's the wind is blowing today. I am grateful. like,
Yep.
this one thing I can
Yep.
get to outside of myself because myself is not in the best place right now. But this is
Mm.
one thing that I can get, that
That's
I can
wow.
reach, that is tangible outside of myself. Like I'm grateful for the birds. I'm grateful for having lights. Like it's just
It's crazy because
something
I don't think a lot of
to
people
be
know
appreciated.
that. I think we all kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead. Go. I'm sorry. Sorry to cut you off. No, I
No,
really
okay.
just because I really just always thought gratitude was more like you be happy, and it's I never thought about it from that way. Wow, I
No,
never thought about it that way.
no, that's
Wow.
toxic positivity because
Mm,
you're utilizing that as a tool to not feel.
mm.
Gratitude doesn't mean that you're happy, right? It just means you are appreciative. And we
Yep.
all have access to something to be appreciative about,
Mm.
right? Even in the worst of situations, we have you cannot have not a dime in your pocket, but you got feet. Like
Yep.
there's
That's
somebody
true.
out here
No.
that don't
Yep.
got
Don't ain't
feet.
got no feet, no hands.
There's somebody out here that
Mm-hmm.
can't see. There is somebody out here that is
That's
having a
true.
hard time breathing, that can't leave their house, that is allergic to the sun. There's
Mm,
people that ain't never tasted
mm.
bacon before. Okay, listen, there is
Ooh.
something to be grateful about in our lives, and being grateful gets us outside of ourselves and gets us on a
Mm,
level where we are in tune with our inner selves, our higher selves, right? And the
mm-hmm.
universe. And we're all one.
Mm.
And this is coming together for our greater good. And that's not happiness. You know what I'm
I
saying?
like that.
That's not
No, I
happiness.
like
Happiness
that.
is something that makes you excited in that moment. Happiness could be gone in the next second. Gratefulness, things to be grateful for, is all around you.
Oh, throughout that is true. Wow. I'm about to tell my fiance this. I'm about to have a whole long talk with her about this. Like, wow. Wow. What was the name of the podcast you were telling me about? I should come up to write this down so I can look
Um,
into it.
I'm gonna send it to you because it's David Never Sleeps. but I forget what's the
Somebody.
actual. Oh, that is.
Okay.
But I'll send it to you too.
Okay. For sure. Because I'm gonna look into that. That's honestly, I'm trying to get a more podcast, so that's definitely I'm gonna look into that.
Yeah, that's
Hold on,
my
hold on.
it's,
Oh, you want to see? All right. Sorry, press. I'm about to go back on daddy duty in a little bit. My bad. Sorry, little dude that came in. Sorry. But yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah. No.
yeah, we a minute, but yeah, it's a big thing that I feel like a lot of people don't have the tools. And I'm saying a lot of people because I'm including myself. Like, that is part of
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I ended up in prison, right? I knew who I was always. I didn't understand how, which again, I looking for how usually gets us in situations where we
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be, right? Because the how is not
Yep.
our problem. I was trying to figure out how to be a healer, how to, like, how am I supposed to do this, and
Mm.
thinking that I am supposed to be a certain way that I wasn't, and
Yeah.
that being a healer meant that I had to be there for everyone, even if that
Mm.
meant that I didn't have to be there for myself. I feel like
Mm.
it was like I was definitely, and all the way up until literally a few months ago, I've been a martyr for other people's healing. Like, I've been
Mm.
willing to sacrifice myself for other people's healing. It took for my business to start feeling it. Like, I had to go to my spiritual counselor and be like, what is going on? And she was like, you're doing a disservice to yourself, trying to cater to everyone. And in
Mm.
that was that martyrdom, right? I'm trying to be like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, everybody needs, and even if, like, let's say, even showed up in my business, but that also goes back to not having the tools. If we aren't sharing the
Yep.
information, if we aren't, um, you know, getting the proper education on
Yep.
what these things actually mean, and not in a Eurocentric way. We've been taught
Yep.
a lot of Eurocentric ways, especially in school, that don't serve
Yeah.
us. And it definitely doesn't serve us in this new world. And I feel like that is attributing to a lot of mental health issues.
I definitely feel like now, like the time and age we're in now is way different than what's being taught in schools. Like even if you talked about in schools and everything like that. Like I feel like, yeah, I agree 150% with you. Like yeah, like the new way of living is way different than how it is. So I feel like at least especially in school, like they need to update. I don't know, especially high schools. They need to talk about what if it's not school or if it's not college, traits, other things
Yeah.
like like that. So I kind of agree 100% with you. Sorry, I keep looking
Yeah.
at you. Keep looking at me. Yeah,
It's
sorry,
okay.
kids. You know how that go.
So I know you're a father. You gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
Some just let's leave the people off with some words. Give us some last words before you go.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. But no, first of all, I want to say thank you for having me on here. It's a blessing. You know, everybody, please follow my Instagram, Jaye Corleone. My clothing line limits to millions. Everybody, got to be in you, not on you. Everybody, just take it day by day. Everybody, just tell the person next to you that you love them, especially because how crazy the world is right now, all these shootings and everything like that. Just hug somebody today, hug somebody tomorrow. Love them, everybody. Yeah, thank you, all precious.
Thank you. So good talking to you.
Mm,
And
bye.
I'll talk to you soon. That was a good conversation, y'all. I'm so excited. Like, I haven't talked to him in a while. It's always a good conversation. Yeah, definitely check out his clothing line, and music. Like I said, he's a fire flame spitter. He been holding back, so definitely looking forward to hearing him back in music. Um, Definitely looking forward to having more conversations with more people. If y'all do want to, join me on a live, I'm thinking about, turning this into a podcast. So if you are interested, hit me up. I'm the owner of A Pocket of Sunshine. This is a wellness brand, so we doing everything wellness. I got stuff for your body, I got stuff for your mind, and I'm doing this for the people, y'all, my community. So I'm very excited. This was a good conversation. I definitely got some things to journal about tonight. So I hope y'all have a great night, and I will see y'all soon.